Shalom, Israel. My name is Officer Kayad, one out of I.S.U.P.K, Jamaica. I.S.U.P.K started 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I.S.U.P.K is run by Commanding General YAHANNA, the one man with the rank and the authority to lead Israel at this time. I say, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Brakatam to my brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alatan Ba'Shem Yahushai to my sisters. All right, so today we're gonna touch upon a little topic, based off a little news. Is a news page post this, so it's a news. You understand? It's news. So there's protests in Augustown because of crime. You understand? Not by the citizens, but by the church and humans rights, or so-called human rights activist groups. You understand? So they are marching. I think marching are the better way to say what they are doing. So probably it's a protest and a march. It look like a protest and a march, right? So they are marching for crime to stop. You understand? Within the Augustown community. So they are protesting or marching against the criminals in the community. So my question is, has marching ever solved any of black people's problems? Will marching stop crime and stop the murders in, in Augustown and in our communities? All right, so that is the question. All right, so we have some scriptures on that, and we are going to break down this video and explain it, in its proper context. You understand? With some scriptures as usual. So without further ado, we are going to jump in at the tape. You see me?
We are here as representative of peace for the Greater Augusta community, sending a signal that we love our community and we will not stand for what is taking place at this time.
Today we are doing a march in the community against violence. On the 12th of June, we had our first march, but it was only done in the community of Hermitage. When we finished that march, we got calls from persons in Ghostwoodville and Augustown and other areas asking us if we could do the same for their section. And we decided to just go out into the other areas and spread our wings among them and, give the people them some form of peace of mind.
What motivated you to do this march?
Well, we have been seeing too many negative things happening in the community, too many gun violence, too many killing. And what we wanted to do is to just put a lid on it, because we know that these young men that are out in the field doing these things, seeing us doing the march and everything, we are hoping that they would be able to understand that it's frustrating everybody within the community. And what we really, really want is for them to understand that we want to touch base with them, soften their hearts, and
All right, so their effort is to march in the community, that is disenfranchised. You understand? So with no practical solution to the underlying issue of what caused crime. We know what caused crime. Crime is caused because, our communities, are basically impoverished. You understand? There's a lack of opportunities. You understand? The young man them in the community now, because society kind of disenfranchise them seek other opportunities. You understand? To seek income. So you find, no, you have turf war amongst each other. You understand? But I'm going to pull a scripture for, kind of get into the thing, for sure what is really going on. So this is Ecclesiasticus 40 and verse 27. And it says, the fear of the Lord is a fruitful garden, and covereth him above all glory. Right? My son, lead not a beggar's life, for better is it to die than to beg. You understand? So what these people know right now in this community is doing, they are really begging. You understand? Begging for, the men, I'm begging the wrong people at that. You understand? Begging the men that they think are the root and cause of crime to stop the crime. When crime has an underlying issue and crime starts from the top. You understand? Crime don't start with the poor, Crime start from the top with our leaders, you understand? Because guess what go on now? Our leaders are not really our leaders. Them serve the oppressor. You know what I mean? Being a part of the oppressor system. You know what I mean? And this system was never made for us to make it past the ghetto. You understand? So, you know what I mean? It is as if the group that is doing the marching, along with the Christian church that is among them, right, don't know the lead, what is the cause of crime. You understand? Or they would be protesting to the government, to the leaders, are marching against the government and the leaders, right? Which they are the one that implement things that cause, you know what I mean, our people to have to involve in a crime. You understand? They are the ones that keep the people poor. They are the ones that make the Edens come in and do business, you know what I mean, on a grand scale, and then keep, you know what I mean, the ghetto impoverished, where, you know what I mean, a man have to go against the law, you understand, for eat a bread, and it becomes an issue amongst turfs, you understand? So it seems like them not really know what go on in a society, you understand? Them also being a part of the same society that oppresses, you know what I mean? That they are accepted by the society that oppresses the people them in the ghetto. You understand? Them don't understand, them can't relate. You understand? Because the society is what feed them, because they are the small exceptions that make it through the cracks. But them don't understand, say, on a larger scale, this society is engineered to keep us at the bottom. You understand? All right, so the next thing we have to touch upon is, you know what I mean? If you have two pit bulls in, right? And this is what them now address. If you have two pit bull, and you have them in a cage and you starve them to death, right? You starve them to death, you know. And then after a long period of time now, you come with a steak, right? And you throw it in that cage. You throw the steak in the cage. See? What you think them two pit bull they are gonna do for the steak? Ask yourself that question. These pit bull are gonna go to war with each other. They are gonna go at each other's throats to get that piece of steak. You understand? And that is the garrison upon a whole. That is the ghetto. Lack of resources. Whenever any resource present itself by being available, you know what I mean? Whether it be road work, politician road work, you know what I mean? Whether it be even the drugs, you understand? Them go war feet, you understand? So, how you get men to stop committing crime against each other? You understand? How you get the Israelite man, our men, you know what I mean? Our people to stop going at war against each other. One, you have to get them to understand, say, yo, they need to keep the laws of the Most High. And the laws of the Most High says, you know what I mean? You must love your brother, you understand, as yourself. You understand? And you can't sell drugs to your people, because many of these, you know what I mean, the so-called criminals them in the communities, for them bread and butter is drugs. Them sell weed, you know what I mean, and grab on them little thing there, and then, you know what I mean, them competitors do the same. And there's many underlying factors that cause them to go at war with each other, you know, but the main thing is, you know what I mean, the Christian church and society put no emphasis on brotherhood, because guess what go on in the Christian church, you know what I mean, the first thing them show you is the white Jesus, which them claim them not pray to, but you know what I mean, him is the logo for every Christian church in every pamphlet. So if God, which them call that white Jesus God also, you know, so if God is white and white people enslave us, or the oppressor enslave us, if God looks like the oppressor and the oppressor enslave us, then, you know what I mean, we're not gonna have no love for each other. You understand? We can't have no love for each other. You see? So we need for you know what I mean, we need to get that common consensus, you know what I mean? We come on common terms, and that common terms is the last statutes and commandments that are here in the Bible. You know what I mean? That is the common term that we need to come from, that code, that, yo, we won't sell drugs to each other, you know what I mean? We won't rape, you know what I mean? We won't do anything that is against the laws that are written of in this Bible. You understand? Yeah, man. So by keeping these laws, we have a common code. And you know what is the next thing? We need to have a common code that we won't support the other nations, the Edens. You know what I mean? Like what the Bible say. You understand? So if we don't make the Chinese man rich by supporting him restaurant, or you know what I mean, any of the Edens by supporting their business, and because we have that code of brotherly love and sisterly love amongst each other, then all that revenue stays within our community. We get to build, you know what I mean, businesses, you know what I mean, and we get to build up our community where we not have to commit no crime. You understand? If our leaders did have our best interests at heart, them could have put them things there in place. But instead, what do our leaders do? Them make the Edens, them come in, do business, set up shop, and become rich, and then take it back to their people. You know what I mean? Send their kids through college. You know what I mean? They're in Augustown, that, you know what I mean, is right next door to UE and UTech. You know what I mean? A majority of the people them in the community have never gone to college, and college is right next door. But you can rest assured that the Edens that live in these, you know what I mean, big scale communities, all their children go to university. You know what I mean? Them come to Jamaica and them set up shop because our leaders allow them to. You understand? And they become rich, and all their children are put through university with the same money that we support them with. That is the cause of crime. You understand? That is the cause of crime. So I'll play a little more of the tape, you know what I mean? And just break down point by point, you know what I mean? That these groups, they don't really know what is the underlying problem, you know what I mean? And the fact that you go into Augustown, where the disenfranchised are killing the disenfranchised, you know what I mean? Protesting, marching against the disenfranchised, mean you don't know what is the cause of the problem. You should be marching against the government, against the leaders of Jamaica, who disenfranchise the people that they have to commit crime. You know what I mean? Crime that does not reach Narbrook. It does not reach Mona Heights. These crimes are not done in Cherry Garden. They are done in the garrison. So why are you coming? So obviously there's something, a plot against the garrison, against the poor, right? So why are you coming up against the garrison, the poor, protesting against the poor because they are being disenfranchised? You should be protesting against the government. You understand? That shows you that the Christian church and these, you know what I mean, these organizations don't have a clue as to what is the underlying problem that cause crime. You know what I mean? But we in the ISUPK and a command in general, Your we teach you what is the cause of crime. You know what I mean? And when brothers come into the ISUPK, they learn that common code that I spoke about earlier. You know what I mean? To love their brother and love their sister. You know what I mean? And not to put any other people above their people. You understand? So when a brother come into the ISUPK now, he come off drugs. You know what I mean? He stop committing crime because he's living by this common code. You understand? And you know these groups are hypocrites because watch this. They are not protesting against homosexuality. You understand? They are not protesting against, you know what I mean, adultery. You know what I mean? Many of these women are being adulterous against their husband. You know what I mean? So they are protesting for us to keep the laws of the land, you know what I mean, being disenfranchised, but they are not protesting to keep the laws of the Most High. You know what I mean? But we in the ISUPK, we know and understand that the root and cause of our problem is because we break the Most High's laws. You understand? But they are not protesting against homosexuality. You know what I mean? Many of these women's rights activists or groups, they are promoting homosexuality. You understand? They are promoting transgenderism. You understand? Why aren't they protesting against that, but they are coming into the garrison, where the garrison upon a whole, not just the people who are not committing crime, even the criminals, they are the victims because society creates the criminals. You understand? Society is the ones that create the criminals. You understand? So why aren't you protesting against all the sins? Why aren't you protesting against eating crab, eating shrimps, eating lobster? You know what I mean? That the laws of the Most High say we must not do. And if we break these laws that are in the Bible, we would go up against each other and we will be subject to our oppressor. You know what I mean? That just goes to show you that these, you know what I mean, our leaders, they have no clue as to what the cause of our problem is. All right, let me just play some more of the tape.
We create their minds from, from the negative things that they're doing right now. We know it's not going to be an easy task. It's going to be on a long journey also, because it's not like a today thing. All right, so we continue to do this on a very regular basis, going around trying to make amends, trying to see if we can recapture the hearts and minds of persons.
Tell us again the groups that are part
The
of
thing where she not understand is them already have the heart and mind of the people. That's why them are commit the crimes. The Christian church have been educating us from we came out of the womb. You know what I mean? We are all here Christians except for us in the I.S.U.P.K. You understand? Us here in Jamaica, we are all Christians. Those you see firing gun in the community and killing each. And them are Christian, them mother are Christian, them father are Christian, them are Christian. So it's just that same Christian mindset that create the crime. You understand? It's that same Christian mindset that create the crime. And us here in Jamaica, we are Benjamites. We are the wolf. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So what do a wolf do? A wolf go out and hunt. You know what I mean? Very viciously for feeding family. You understand? So if you put a wolf in a situation where he have to fight for the little scraps them where, you know what I mean, is available, the wolf will go to war, and that is what is happening in the communities, in the garrison. We are going at war with each other because there are lack of resources. Have you ever come in the garrison and look? We never come in at the ghetto them and look upon the condition of the people. Have you ever walked through, which is a rhetorical question because we know how to do it. You understand? We know how to come in at the garrison and see the condition of the people, them, how impoverished they are. You understand? We don't expect from people who are impoverished. We don't expect peace. We don't come and, so we don't expect them to live in peace, being impoverished, being, you know what I mean, deprived of proper resource. Right? When you don't get the peace, you don't come and protest against them. They are not the one keeping themselves impoverished. They are not the ones that you should protest against. You understand? You should be protesting against the leaders that subject us to the IMF. You understand? They subject us to the IMF. IMF squeeze the island, rip every resource out of the island, and we don't benefit as a people. So how do you expect peace? You understand? Us here in the I.S.U.P.K, we know what can bring peace to our people. Coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You understand? Yeah, man, that is the only way. You understand? All right, I'm going to pull our next scripture. Zine, this is Ecclesiasticus 26 and 28. Just bear with me for a second. All right, let me just pull it out of the Apocrypha itself. And it says, this is Ecclesiasticus 26 and 28. It says, there be two things that grieve my heart. This is, you know what I mean? This is Solomon speaking, right? And Solomon being, you know what I mean, a servant of the Most High, right? There be two things that grieve my heart, and the third make me angry. A man of war suffering poverty. So Solomon tell us, say, yo, this grieve him heart when a man of war suffering poverty. These young men in the garrison, they are men of war. They would have been the soldiers for our people had we had been in our nation. Had we have still retained our identity as the children of Israel. These young men would have been our soldiers, our men of war. But when you put them in a poverty, what you think them are going to do? You know what I mean? Like I mentioned, the wolf got to at war with each other for the resource. So if you put them in poverty, right? They are going to war against each other because they are men of war by nature. By nature, our young men are men of war. So put them in a poverty and they are going to war against each other. You know what I mean? So we now protest, we now march against the wrong people. We need to march against the system and the oppressor system that oppresses us and has been oppressing us since slavery. It has never changed. When has the condition of our people been great on a whole? You understand? So when our protest goes to show you that, you know what I mean, the Christian church don't have a clue. You understand? Don't have a clue as to what is the cause of our problem. Look, right in the background, there is this big Christian church, and they are on every corner. The Christian church never did have to come out and march, you know, because they are located in every ghetto in Jamaica. You know what I mean? Every community have at least 3. You understand? Or more. Right? So why, you know what I mean? Why is the crime still out of control? If the Christian church was the solution, if marching was the solution, we have been marching for years. You know what I mean? And the scripture tell you, don't live a beggar's life, because you beg, you know what I mean? The wrong people, them, for go in peace. You understand? The wrong people, them, who not march against for go in peace. You understand? Martin Luther King was, you know what I mean? He was, I wouldn't say the inventor of marching, but he's the most famous marcher. And what did his marching do? What did his marching do? His marching caused black people for no longer own businesses. You understand? To be subjugated under racism and a racist system. He integrated the black community, you know what I mean, under a system that has always oppressed them. You understand? And at his last, when he was about to die, right before him dead, him said he feared that he have integrated, you know what I mean, his people into a burning house, which he did. Because no black people now have nothing. And Jamaica is just a small microcosm of what America is. We suffer from the same thing that the blacks in America suffer from. You understand? And marching has never helped. Marching is, what marching will do will add more fuel to the fire. Make more groups come in Jamaica, like, you know what I mean, many of these women right groups that come into the island, you know what I mean? And what their job is to do is to, you know what I mean, empower the woman over the man. Then if our woman them empowered over and against us, then all we come together as a family. You understand? Or we come together as a family. It does show you that, you know what I mean? Them don't know what is good for us. But we here in the ISUPK, we know what is good for us. And it's to come back to the last statutes and commandments of the Most High. Let me play some more of the tape.
The peace builders from the Augustine group alongside with us today, and persons from the church that will be coming in to assist us from the Islamic New Testament Church of God that will be coming in with us also.
Anything to do with peace, as long as I have peace and people are advocate of peace, I am here. That's me. I think that people in general don't understand their own power and don't understand that it's basically a numbers game, because if the entire law-abiding citizen will come out and make a statement, it will send a powerful signal to the perpetrators of violence. People need to understand that the people who are...
We not send the statement to the wrong people, you know what I mean? Because our leaders, what they do, you know, them fatten themselves. You know what I mean? They know them now have no solution to the crime problem. You know what I mean? So what them do, them fatten themselves, them stuff them pockets, them make themselves rich, them save themselves. You understand? And leave the people in the condition, the same condition, you know what I mean? Nothing has changed. You understand? Nothing has changed. So our leaders fatten themselves and una try, you know what I mean, send a message to the poor people in Jamaica. That don't make no sense. And many of you is not a part of the poor people in Jamaica. Many of you live in all of them upscale communities that we talk about. You just fear the crime, leave from out of the ghetto and come at phone doorsteps. You know what I mean? You live paranoid every day wondering if crime are going to come out on the doorstep. When you watch the news, you get so paranoid. You know what I mean? You get so paranoid. But at the end of the day, we are suffer here in the garrison. We are the victims. The people here in the garrison are the victims. You understand? That's why we in the I.S.U.P.K, we have the remedy. You see me? We have the remedy to crime and violence. You understand? We need to come back to these laws, statutes and commandments, you know what I mean? Which says, thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not steal. You know what I mean? That's half of the problem gone already, you know. You know what I mean? So if we can train up our young men, if them come in at the I.S.U.P.K, they can know this common code, that they should not steal or murder from them one another. They should not sell them one another drugs. You understand? Which all of the man them in the garrison basically, most, you know what I mean, the man them in the garrison, they take drugs, either them sell it or them take it. Which me I talk about the weed for the most part, which is a drug. You understand? So, them not in them right mind frame neither. You understand? But yet still society glorify the smoking of weed and all them thing there. You know what I mean? Which is against the laws here in the Bible. You understand? So, we in the ISUPK, we would have get them under the right code and show them, say, yo, here we go on, man. Selling weed to your people or any kind of drugs to your people is destroying your people. You know what I mean? And we need to come up from, you know what I mean, from under that lifestyle. And watch you know, homosexuality is running rampant in our communities. You understand? And there is no protest against that. You understand? So we would teach our people that we should shun certain lifestyle, keep it away from us, so that the Most High can bless us as a people and keep out the heathens. Don't support the heathens. Don't support the oppressor, you know what I mean, the Asians that come set up shop in our country and they become rich. Don't support them. Support your own people, them. You understand? Support your own people. Make your people great and stop making the oppressors great. You understand? And then you will see more resource coming into the garrison, into the ghetto, into Augustown. You understand? All right, I'm going to play out a little more of the tape and then I'm going to jump to another scripture. You see me?
Hell-bent of and mash of the community will not change unless you force them to change. And that is where the numbers come in relation to the decent law-abiding citizens, right? Too many people just do not understand how transformation works. And I think that is our biggest setback so far, the lack of understanding as to what to do. This community, when I said this community, I mean the greater Augustine, including Hermitage, Gosman Villa, African Gardens, and Bedard Gardens, right? The Augustine is that, you know, the citizens can't complain because, number one, they can't say they don't see action because people are here standing up, but we don't have enough people who are standing up, right? And that is really hampering the growth and progress. People have to view that as a police job.
All right, so it's, you know what I mean? Him say, like what him say, it's not the police job because the police can't solve crime. You understand? The police can't prevent crime because, you know what I mean? The solution to the problem is not more policing. It's more opportunities for the youth then. You understand me? And coming back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. So we're going to jump to the book of James right now. You know what I mean? James chapter 2 and 9, which says, but if ye have respect to persons, ye commit sin and are convinced of the law as a transgressor. So, you know what the man them, you know what I mean, stop commit crime against the land, but you know what I mean, you not defend the Most High laws. You understand? You not defend the Most High laws because we don't see no march against homosexuality. You understand? We don't see no march against adultery, where our women are cheating on their husbands. You understand? And our brothers are sleeping with their brothers' wives. We don't see no march on that. So what the scripture says is this: ye commit sin and are convinced of the law as transgressors. Because what? You're a respecter of person. You know what I mean? The reason why you're so down upon the killing and the murders is because of this. You're afraid for dead. And your life you're fear for. You know what I mean? But you don't fear the homosexuals them, which is just as bad as the murderers. You understand? You don't fear the outbreak of, you know what I mean, more adultery amongst our people when they are just as bad as the murderers. You understand? But because of the fear of death, you know what I mean, with the fear for die, you know what I mean, that is the reason why I think murder is greater than all the rest of sin them, which murder is just another sin. You understand? Murder is just another sin. It's a sin just as homosexuality, just as adultery, and the very sins that many are commit. You understand? Many are commit the very sins them when we just explain, but yet still murder is the one that frightens you because you live in fear. You know what I mean? Continuing, verse 10. For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, meaning if you feel like say boy, you're not thief, or you're not robber, you're not kill. See? It says, yet offend in one point, but you're a homosexual. So if you're not a murderer, you're not a thief, Zane, you're not an adulteress. Say for example, Slakia, let me put back adulteress on your part because watch this. No for you are adulteress and adulterers. You know what I mean? So if you're a homosexual and an adulterer, but because you're not a robber and a thief and a murderer, you think that you are righteous. You're not righteous. You're just as bad as the murderer. Continuing. He is guilty of all. Let me read it again. Verse 10. This is James chapter 2 and 10. For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one. So if you have never committed no sin, but you are a homosexual or you're adulteress, then he is guilty of all. You're guilty of all of them. So don't think yourself different from the youth them in the community where, you know what I mean, is disenfranchising and committing crimes against them one another. Don't think that they are the problem with society. You are also the problem with society because you break the other laws. You understand? Continue it. Verse 11. For he that said, do not commit adultery, said also, do not kill. And you see, the most that is him understand us as a people. You see me? Because it's the very thing where we are talking about now. The most I know say, yo, I saw now go do it. Him know say when I go come out against killing because we're not cowards. You understand? Him know say when I go come out against killing because we're not cowards, we're afraid to die, which killing, murdering is wrong. Murdering is wrong, but we not come up against homosexuality. You understand? We not come up against adultery. It is a fashion in Jamaica for somebody to sleep with his brother's wife. Or we not come up against that, which that is also a sin. You understand? So the most I tell you say if you break one, you break them all, basically. You understand? So it says, for he that said, do not commit adultery, he that you know what I mean? He that says, don't sleep with your brother's wife, said also, do not murder. So the same is also the same sin. You know what I mean? A sin is a sin. Continue it. No, if thou commit no adultery, yet if thou kill, thou art become a transgressor of the law. So if you don't commit adultery, but you kill, you transgress the law. And also if you commit adultery, but you don't kill, you transgress the law. You know what I mean? And the Bible tells us, yo, if you break these laws of the Most High, you know what I mean? The young man that is tender amongst you, his heart shall be evil against his brother. And that is what we are witnessing. All of our problems are in the Bible. You know what I mean? Are being explained by the Bible. You understand? And all of the solution is in the Bible. You know what I mean? The very Christian church that is going around protesting and marching. You know what I mean? Marching against the community that is disenfranchised. They are the ones that have the Bible. They are the ones that have the Bible and is not telling our people that, yo, your solution to your problem is in these Bibles. You are the children of Israel. Why is the very Christian church going around in the community marching against the community? You know what I mean? So it just goes to show you that them don't really know what is the cause of our problem. Let me continue playing it here.
The police thing, but it is more on the part of the citizens and the police. Because number one, the police are not everywhere in the community, but the persons who are everywhere in the community, they cover every inch of the community, are the citizens, right? And if the citizens understand their role and their power, you know, in no time, right across Jamaica, we will be able to overcome.
All right, so you know what I mean, we're not going much more into the tape. You know what I mean, just to show you that marching will never help. The only way, the only solution we have to this problem is to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I mean? If you don't want to solve crime, you will come into the ISUPK. Because there is no criminals in the ISUPK, because we live by the code that is written off in these records in the Bible. You understand? We don't commit crimes. And when a brother come into the truth, him learn not to commit crime. So if I were you, I would, instead of marching, you would lead all these brothers to the ISUPK. You understand? You will direct them. You will share this video to them. You know what I mean? And make them know, say, yo, come into the ISUPK. You understand? That is the only solution for crime and killing and murders. You understand? Marcus Garvey also tried, you know what I mean, to direct us at the part of Africa, right? And that has never worked. None of our leaders have never given us the proper solution to this crime problem. You know what I mean? To get us out of the condition that we are in as a people. You understand? As I said, Marcus Garvey, you know what I mean? He tried and he failed. You understand? Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, you know what I mean? All of them tried and they failed. You understand? Because they didn't have the truth. There wasn't a common code that we as a people should live by. You understand? That excluded everybody else. You know what I mean? And uplifted us. You know what I mean? That common code is in the Bible. Marcus Garvey was not going by, you know what I mean, what is written off in the Bible. You understand? So that is why our leaders fail, because they don't know that the Bible is really for our people and that this system is never made for us. You understand? And the Africans that Marcus Garvey tried to carry over there too, they would just end up enslaving us. They are part of the oppressors. You understand? Because they understand, say, yo, they are not our people. Them know them are who, you know, but we don't know we are who. We think we are Africans. So when we go over there in Africa, you know what I mean, and some Rasta go over in Ethiopia, what happened to them? Them get oppressed. They've learned that the Ethiopians, that they are oppressors. You understand? So our leaders, them have never given us the solution to our problem. Never. But Commanding General YAHANNA and the ISUPK are the only ones that have been successful in reforming our people. You understand? Reforming the life of black men. The very black men that protest against because think they are the cause of crime. So when you protest, the man not relate to you, you know what I mean? The man them can't relate to you. You understand? Them can't relate to you because you don't understand the root and cause of the problem. You understand? But we here in the I.S.U.P.K and the Commanding General YAHANNA, we have the solution. You understand? Again, we keep classes in race course Clarendon. You understand? Just call the number in the description. You understand? And we will give you the details on how to attend classes. You understand? And also classes are kept online on YouTube and Facebook. You understand? Just follow up on YouTube and Facebook. Subscribe to this channel and like the video and share. You understand? And watch this now. We are also on Instagram. We are on TikTok. So just follow up on them platform there. You understand? Again, we're the I.S.U.P.K and the Commanding General YAHANNA. And with that, I say shalom.